What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a second reaction to the hidden dungeon only I can enter. Unfortunately, due to some really annoying technical issues, I've recorded a full reaction to this with absolutely no audio available whatsoever. So I can't not do a reaction to this. So we're going to do this again, fully aware that I have already seen the episode. I know that's going to be a turn off for some people, but I have to get the episode out. So that's why we're going to do this again. Hopefully it allows me to comment on some things maybe I didn't see in the last time, and maybe explain my thoughts a little bit better than last time as well. But if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. I'm a British guy who reacts to anime, and this is not normal. This is the first time I'm in... Well, this is the first time I've had a full reaction, let alone multiple full reactions fail, in the year or so I've been doing this. So hopefully this doesn't happen again, because my god, it did not feel good to see... Like, you spend like nearly 2 hours working on something and then it's all useless and you can't use it. It's very infuriating. But yeah, what we do here, we like to look over the synopsis, the tags, the VA list, the studios behind the show on AniList before we start the episode. This is what I used to do before I started this channel, and it's what I'm going to do all the way through. I know it makes it not a blind reaction, but really it doesn't make too much of a difference, I don't think. Synopsises are usually only good for the first episode, and usually those first episodes elevate or go beyond what the synopsis naturally has anyway. So, the Hidden Dungeon is a place of legend where rare treasures and items are hidden. Noir, the third son of an impoverished noble family who's lost the one job offer he had, was lucky enough to hear about this dungeon. Like, really lucky. He then acquires a skill that allows him to create, bestow, and edit skills. In order to use it, he needs to accumulate points by carrying out such tasks as eating delicious meals and doing sexual things with alluring members of the opposite sex. So yes, this is a rom-com ecchi harem, hitting all the tags that I typically don't like. And because of that reason, you might be wondering, why am I doing a second reaction to the show if it's normally the things I don't like? That's because I quite like this one. Like, the way this show has done it, I like it, and you'll see why as I go through the episode. VA-wise, Yui Horie, there's Hanakawa from Monogatari series. Miyu, who are you? You're someone. Akari, I don't think we're meeting this character today, but she is Kotoko from Kotoko Iwanaga from Inspector. Miyu, I can't remember who you are, but you're definitely someone, obviously. But I can't remember exactly where you're from. This is by Okuruto Noboru, and as their really, it looks like they've actually been added to a bunch of stuff. Like, this wasn't here when I first looked. Like, The Girl in Twilight, I did not know this series was on there at first. But they were one of 3 studios working on it. So this is kind of their first main foray into anime on their own. And honestly, it looks pretty good. I quite like the way they've done this one. So, yeah, I don't think there's really much more for me to talk about here. I just need to get into the episode so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. But let's get the episode up, shall we? As per usual, what we do here on the channel are time-based reactions. If you want to see a picture-in-picture version, my Patreon is the place to do that. That's just £4 a month, gets you access to all the picture-in-picture shows I do, including the ones that are actually recorded properly and not re-reactions. So if you want to see that, that's the link in the description. But here on YouTube, we have to do timer-based format for copyright. So bottom left of the screen, you'll see the timer for the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. Now I'm playing, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. Watch this one on Crunchyroll, since that's who licensed it this season. No logos or anything to begin with, just a fade in from black, and we're good to go. You can also use screen flash on my face or mic to tell when the scene is transitioning. That will help you sync up as well. So, with all that said, let's get into episode 1, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Off into the wild. It's an interesting shot, this one. I quite like it. I mean, the fields aren't very well designed, but I'll give it a pass. I mean, if you're going to be a hidden dungeon, a lot of good designs, though. And here's our main boy. It's unfortunate how generic he looks. It really is. I like this first person view. There's Hanakawa. The suspense. There she is. See, they used this, and they used her as part of the promo. She was one of the promo images, along with him, like, touching his forehead against her. Now that we know the context of it, it's actually much better. Especially considering my initial concerns in my winter preview. When to get out there and work, I can understand that. Here's the family. Yep. No cushy library work for you. And here's the breakdown of society. Baronet, Baron, Viscount, Earl, Marquis, and Duke. Yeah. Yeah, you're the lowest of the low, even amongst nobles. This is why I like him as a character. This attitude here. Yep. My son! And there's the sister. Can't do much against that. There's the idea. Very prestigious. Yes. At least he's realistic with it. I'm sure you would. That's not what it is with Japan and this sister trope, but they always use it. Introduce a character by her boobs. I really like Emma. And not because of why you think, alright? Calm yourselves. Childhood friend. Unfortunately, we can't. The Great Sage. I love them. Yep. Yeah. Even the powerful skills have drawbacks. Why Marlin? I guess they just wanted to deviate from Merlin, but yeah, there it is. I'm still convinced Marlin was a lecherous old man, but still. I still have doubts, even though. No, it doesn't! The fact that that makes sense to these people, I love it. Totally. bit more romantic with it. And a bit more privacy as well. And yes, there was a panty shot there. But it's very subtle and tasteful compared to other panty shots. I don't know, is a panty shot ever tasteful? I don't know. I can't believe the series actually gets a kiss for the childhood friend as well. Like, breaking all conventions here. I know it's going to be a harem eventually, but still. Also, aren't you meant to use the... He was meant to use the skill before he got the kiss. I'm fairly certain, but whatever. What's your question? There's the idea. 15 kilometers, man. Infinite labyrinth. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have a constant headache. I mean, that's the correct answer, to be right. Score 1 for the childhood best friend, though. Always look for the different coloured stone. And now you're trapped. Such a weird unlock password, but I like it. And there she is. Here we go. I really like Olivia. I don't know how you figure that out, but sure. There's the chains. I don't know how you survived 200 years, but sure. I mean, yeah, 200 years of loneliness. Reminds me of Slime a little bit in that regard. Well, he has one lucky skill. Let me explain. Nah, he didn't care. Yeah, she's just gonna give him his skills. Like, Olivia's super OP when you think about it. Especially seeing she's communicating like this as well. Yeah, don't. Mm-hmm. Very, very helpful. Even more helpful. Full of troll potential. Yes. Mm-hmm. And there it is. That's how you make this an ecchi show. Mm-hmm. Good food, good drink will always be good. And of course, wealthy. I do wonder though, if you created money, spent money to buy things, could you earn more LP than you spend making the money? I wonder. I wonder if you could game it like that. I'm sure you couldn't, but that's my first thought. Well, not my first thought. That slime is still way too good for this show. Like, what on earth is that slime? Like, way too higher quality for this show, considering the art style. I mean, this looks good. Uh, Using an 11th of his LP makes him feel a bit iffy. I do wonder how that specifically works. Oh, God. God damn it with the sister every time. Sure. And he's back up to 600. Goddamn sisters. That dress really suits her. I love it. I love that. I love that like almost burgundy red as well. So good. Which this Yep. Yep, use the right name. Yes. At the time, that's half his LP. Mmm. Very useful. Any living creature or object. It's very, very useful. Level 17. Dual wielding daggers. Nice. Hmm. Wow. Just 80 life points to shrink your boobs. What a visual. The change of art style. Every time, I love it. I mean, yeah, but still one of the best lines ever. I actually need to make a note of that one. I need that for reference to show friends. Mm-hmm. A lot of high profile here. I love how just out of focus, but in the foreground, just boobs. Very subtle, etchy. Group up and get materials. But this is part of, like, how easy can you mingle with others and such. Makes sense. But they won't give a baronet the time of day, obviously. I still wonder if he could just create the materials he needs for this. Don't know how much LP it would cost to get something good, but you know. Mm-hmm. There she is. That's not important when she has you. LP up. And then this one. Oof. Yep. Yep. Obtain any way you like. Yep. Oof. Oh, it's gonna be nice to show you up. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. It's a hidden dungeon. Level 99. Yep. It's not a good idea to come to a super high level dungeon for something like this. That's gonna be expensive, right? Mm-hmm. Alright. Mm-hmm. I do wonder if it's a proportion of his LP that causes him to feel like that, or if it's just by using a lot in one go. Because if it's proportional, that would just get better over time, right? Mm-hmm. Kablamo. I like that he moved back and was pushed off by it. Makes a lot of sense. I just love it going. Reminds me of Ashley Johnson from Critical Role. Mm-hmm. 6k points, good. Nearly double that, though. Very impressive. Just wait. Well. Okay. Grunts. $128,000. Absurd. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Doesn't give a damn. I'm sure. Oh god, 300 grand. Sister overheard though. And that's it. Still, episode goes by very quickly. I love this ED to build these two up as well. Like I said, this is a harem anime, so he'll spend time with the other girls, but the childhood friend actually winning right off the bat, or seemingly winning off the bat, is pretty incredible. It's not the best ED ever, but it fits the show nicely. I do like the elf's outfit a lot. I don't know if those are blades or if she's a gunslinger. Kind of hard to tell. Definitely looks like gunslinger. But I don't know if that exists in this one. I forgot. Her boobs resting on that stone. It's just like, of course they are. Alright. The Guild and Receptionist, which will be our first member that we meet. And then we get fan art at the end as well. Nice. And that's it. See, this show is actually, like... That's what was weird about this. This is not the type of show I normally enjoy. Especially based on the synopsis. I thought this was going to be a quick drop, just because I thought it was going to be more like Peter Grill. But actually, the ecchi so far, and I'm saying so far because that could really, really change as episodes go on. But the ecchi so far has been relatively tasteful, made sense, not been disrespectful or forced in any way, really. Like, we did get a panty shot, but it was so subtle compared to the typical panty shot you normally see in a show like this. I'm sure the more obvious ones are coming, because of course they are. It's an ecchi show. But it just felt good in this one. Like, it didn't feel very forced, and that's an accomplishment. And then Noir's character, like, it's meant to be relatively bland just because he is a self-insert character, but the small little glimpses we are getting into his character, I quite like him. Like, he's not the usual spineless harem protagonist, at least not right now. I'm sure once it gets a bit further than just hugging and kissing, maybe he'll start to clam up a little bit, but that's understandable for him. I don't know how far this show's going to push that sort of thing, though. I mean, if this was a certain Isekai Harem Monogatari, they would push it quite far. But this, I don't think is going to push it quite that far. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, I don't know. But honestly, a surprise, because I did not expect to enjoy this one as much as I did, realistically. It's, like I say, it just seems like a show I don't normally enjoy. And that's normally because I'm not a big fan of ecchi shows, but the most recent ecchi I watched was like actual proper ecchi, was Monster Girl Doctor from summer last year. And that was very ecchi, but it made sense in the context of being a doctor and such. Before that, the last one I watched and actually kept up with, like Uzaki, I wouldn't count as ecchi, even though it's tagged as such. I think ecchi is very loosely used on Uzaki. Satan Academy and Bokuben were the most recent ones. Satan Academy, I can kind of see where the ecchi tag come in from, especially with oh, what was her face? Where is she? Hitomi. Hitomi got fan service to hell, but she's the only human female, so they kind of had to, without it being particularly weird. But she got fan serviced a lot, like a lot. Yeah, she got ecchi a lot. Bokuben is fairly ecchi. Mirror Tights honestly is the most I think the most recent one of those lots that I have watched that is true ecchi. But that's cultured ecchi, alright? Let's just get that out of the way. But yeah, typically this is not the type of show I ended up watching more recently. Like, older ones I've watched, like Keijo, for example, Sister You Need, Harakana Receive, like some of these older ones I do enjoy. Shomin Sample, Date Alive. Like, Date Alive and, like, Prison School and stuff, like, those are, like, old school examples of ecchi that I really enjoyed. Sankareya, I don't know if I count that as ecchi, but I guess it kind of was. Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt? Yes. God, that deserves a season 2. It's been 10 years. God, it's been 10 years since Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt ended. Oh, God. Why did this never get a season 2? Why? That just makes me sad. I wish that got more. Anyway, yeah. This show genuinely surprised me. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did, and I'm annoyed that this technical issue happened on this show, as well as Sama Spider and Tomazaki, because I'm enjoying these shows. If it happened on, say, Back Arrow, which I've yet to see, maybe my opinion would have changed a bit. But yeah. It is what it is. We can only just move on with it. Hopefully, this reaction ended up being somewhat decent. I have no idea how it turned out realistically. Hopefully, you guys still enjoyed it, because I wanted to get a reaction out for this show because it deserved it. And hopefully, on my second watch through, I did even notice some extra little bits here and there, so it does help to have a second watch through at times. I'd rather have done that in my own time rather than having done that for the channel, you know. So it is what it is, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, as per usual. Leave a comments as well what you thought of the episode. I know this one's going to be a show that's split, because not everyone's going to enjoy this type of show. I didn't think I would, but somehow it's endeared me enough to stick with it for now. If this isn't your type of show, I completely understand. I would say maybe give it a second or third episode, maybe at least a second episode, just to see if it is going to keep going in the direction that you don't like. It might turn it around a little bit and go in a slightly different direction. So I would say give it a second chance for episode 2 if you have the time next week. I don't know how busy your schedules are, of course. So, but since this is a weekend, well, just before weekend show, you should have this best time as any to really have a show like this. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see next week's episode, which will actually be a proper reaction, as well as the rest of the Winter 2021 lane you can find on my channel, as well as my Patreon to see picture-in-picture versions of all the shows I do as well. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.